Ladies and gentlemen, very good Thursday morning. Welcome to EPFA Nations Cup 2019 round robin game, England against Austria. Team Austria lineup today: number 1, Stefanie Strup-Reiter. Number 3, Michael Streit. 4, Carolina Chengay. 6, Jakob Schriefel. 7, Jasna Puskaric. 8, Michael Kiefler. 9, Martin Ladstetter. And 10, Ilyas Jusic. England lineup today: number 4, Ed Common. 6, Greg Baxter. 7, Chris Gordon. 8, John Boulding. 9, Marcus Harrison. 10, Matt Francis. 11, Sam Smith. And 19, Brad Bates. And center referee Niels Christian Simonsen, assistant referees Tony Christensen from Denmark.
To Dowling, and there's the pass to Dowling. Dowling gonna take a shot. Audrey Keeter across to Kieser. Kieser shot in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Day 2 of the 2019 EPFA Nations Cup. We are live here in Paljolahti Training Center here in Nassala, Finland for Power Soccer Shop. I'm Tony Jackson, and our first match to kick off this action-packed day of Power Soccer is Austria, the newcomers on the international scene, versus England, who very narrowly missed a chance at the championship match of the 2017 World Cup. They are back here for the European Championships, trying to not only earn another place here in the 2021 World Cup, but to also come away as European champions. Teams are warming up right now, and as soon as we get them, we will give you the starting 4 for each side. I can, however, tell you right now the referees for this match. In the center, Niels Christian Simonsen. Your assistants today are Tony Christensen and Pablo Del Puerto, and your fourth official is Mika Wallstein. In this match, you're going to see very contrasting styles, and we saw the 2017 World Cup in Florida in the United States. England releasing and showing the world really a brand new style of play, really involving the goalkeeper in the attack, and you've seen over the last couple of years more and more teams around the world starting to employ a similar style. So it'll be interesting to see, now that teams have been able to prepare for this for the last 2 years, how they respond, and we'll see how Austria comes out today. It's going to be a challenge for them. England, not only very experienced, but a high-scoring team as well. And as I said earlier, Austria kind of new on the international scene. And it looks like the captains for each side are about to meet in the middle here. We're just a few moments away from kickoff. After this match, we have Ireland and Denmark coming up. That will be at 11:15 local time. We are 7 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone in the United States, so for all of you watching around the world, please adjust accordingly. good crowd out here this morning. The supporters for England and Ireland and Austria all in the stands already. Irish national team and the Danish national team all hanging out, eagerly awaiting their first match of this competition. And as we watch them warm up, I was talking to a few of the English players, and they are more than ready to go. For them, their main competition are the reigning European and world champions, France. If you remember back to the 2017 World Cup, they played a highly contested match. And they're looking to find their winning ways against the French. We'll see as those two teams will meet up tomorrow. And it looks like Austria's got their starting four out on the pitch, so what I can tell you now for Austria, their starting four in goal: Stephanie Strubreiter. On the far side of the floor, Jakob Schriefel. Also out on the floor, number 8, Michael Kiefler, and also number 10, Ilias Jusic. For England, in goal, number 7, Chris Gordon. Also on the floor for England, number 19, Brad Bates. Across from him on the other side of the pitch, number 11, Sam Smith, and in the middle, number 8, John Bolding. And it looks like both sides are ready to go. And Austria will start things off. Bolding over to Smith, and you're going to see a lot of open passing from England. That is their signature style of play. And one thing I noticed about this pitch is, and I mentioned this yesterday, this pitch is the maximum allowable size under the EPFA regulations, and so this is really, I feel, going to play to the advantage of England, as they love to play a wide open passing style. And we'll see how they employ that here with a little bit of extra added room. And so now a set ball between Bolding and Jusic. John Bolding, the wily veteran and leader of this English side. Pass back to Gordon. Gordon, a crossover to Bates. And there you see England already moving the ball around with relative ease, getting a lot of space out there. Gordon knocks that ball off of Jusic. Still in play. Gordon kicks out to Bolding. Bolding looking to go across, but he kicks it back over to Gordon. Gordon has a passing lane down to Smith, and now Jusic cuts that ball off, intended for Bolding. Jusic nicely done. The pass, Smith looking for some space. Nobody really coming up to defend him, and now Smith has a lot of space to pass. Bates cut off by Kiefler. That ball still in play, nicely done by Bolding. That ball just right on the touchline, out of play in favor of Austria. Schriefel gonna kick the ball in for Austria. Smith. Schriefel. Smith takes that ball away, and now he heads down the floor for England. Bolding waiting for that pass to come back out. Chris Gordon is there. Gordon across to Bolding. Bolding winding up for a shot. John Bolding, and a goal by John Bolding. Wonderful shot. And England get on the board first. It's 1-0. There. Gordon across to Bolding. Winding up for a shot. John Bolding, and a goal. Strubreiter was not able to react in time. That shot came from quite a distance. It is 1-0. England. Bolding across to Smith. That one just gets by Usage. Smith, nice little 180 spin there. Good control. Bolding looking to go across to Bates. Nicely cut off by Schriefel. But that is going to be a 2-on-1 violation on, it looks like it was going to be on Austria, so England going to get the indirect free kick here. Bolding going over to Bates. Bates looking for a 180 spin kick across the area. Nicely done, and now a counterattack. Can Austria score? Oh, and he just missed. Oh my goodness, let's watch that one again, ladies and gentlemen. Austria with a golden opportunity. And Schriefel just missed. My goodness, that could have been a huge boost for Austria. But as it stands, it's still 1-0 England. And this is one of the risks with the way England play their game. The goalkeeper plays very far up forward, and it leaves the defense a little bit vulnerable. But luckily for England, it didn't cost them a goal there. Brad Bates. Bolding. Hits Schriefel. Let's see which way the referee's going to call it. He's going to call it a foul on Schriefel. Bolding. Bates back to Bolding. Bolding winding up for a shot. Back to Bates. Oh, Bates! Nice touch! Brad Bates puts England up 2-0. Bates just kicked that off the side of his chair. Let's watch this one again. And Bolding passes it right back down to Bates. And Bates just using the rear wheel bar that goes over the top of his back wheel to score another goal. England now up 2-0. Nicely done by Usage. That's going to be a kick in deep for England. Nice move, John Bolding, and now Bolding breaking down the floor. Kiefler looking to defend Bolding. Now the pass to Bates. Bates. That ball is going to roll out for a goal kick. Kiefler sends the ball into Usage, but that one goes behind Usage. And so England Bolding, lots of space to pass around. He's going to go down to Smith. Sam Smith winding up, going over to Gordon. Chris Gordon with a shot. Chris Gordon, now with a save. Bounces between the two defenders, but it's still not a goal. Good defense by Austria. The pass across. Now Smith with a shot. Smith save. Strubreiter and Kiefler working to keep that ball out. Smith, the pass across. Gordon winding up for another shot. The pass across. Bates. Nice defense by Austria. Now Schriefel will go for another spin kick, and he waited just a little bit too long. John Bolding now racing back. Bates. The pass across Bolding. Kicks it across to Gordon. Gordon winding up down to Smith. Smith up to Bolding. Bolding back to Smith. Bolding again winds up Bates now with the ball. Bates across to Bolding. Bolding with a shot. John Bolding with a goal. Unbelievable passing by England. Just wonderful, wonderful play. It is a total team effort for the English side. Just pass after pass. It is now 3-0 England. And I have to say again, Austria doing fairly well, and they've had their chances. They've had a couple open chances to score, and they just haven't been able to capitalize on them yet. And we're going to get a 2-on-1 violation on Austria. It looks like some piece of a chair, or looks like a coupler bolt of some sort. I'm not quite sure what it was, but a piece of a chair that doesn't belong on the floor was on the floor. Nice move by Bolding to let that ball go across. The pass, Bates up to Gordon. Gordon across. Bolding with a pass. Bates, that one goes off the back of his chair, and England really starting to open up play here. Couple fancy nutmegs by the English side there. And now we got a stoppage in play, trying to figure out what's going on. And it looks like we're going to get a substitution. Schriefel coming off and coming on in his place, number 9, Martin Ladsteder.
Substitution, Austria player in number 9, Martin Ladsteder. Out number 6, Schriefel.
So now Ladsteder going to start play again. Bolding with the ball. He's going to pass all the way across to Smith. Smith looking to go over to Bates. Bates back to Smith. Smith winding up for a shot. Nice save. Strubreiter. Bolding over to Smith again. Ladsteder lets that ball bounce off his chair. Bates going to pass up to Gordon. Gordon across to Bolding. Bolding over to Bates. Bates touches the ball. 180 spin kick across. Bolding with another goal. That one bounced off of Strubreiter. And again, England just putting on a passing clinic right now. Just the movement and the positioning of the English side, just too much for Austria to handle.
Goal scored by number 8, John Bolding.
Pass from Smith back to Bolding. Bolding all the way across. Usage is going to cut it off. Smith. Bolding holds on to that ball as Usage was closing him down. Nice little touch pass over to Smith. Smith winding up to go across to Bates. Bates now. Bates winding up for a 180 spin kick. Bolding! Nice touch and another goal. England are on a mission to send a message to the rest of Europe that they are ready to claim their title. However, France still have something to say about that. Wonderful goal by England. It's now 5-0. We're only in the 12th minute right now, but England already up 5-0. Bates. That ball cut off by Usage. Bolding now back to Smith. Smith, Usage cuts that ball off for Austria. Close to a 2-on-1 violation. Advantage called. Play continues. Smith. Bolding. That ball goes across to Bates. Bates. That ball bounces out. Bolding with a shot. And Smith couldn't redirect that ball in between the posts, so it's going out for a goal kick in favor of Austria. Kiefla over to Usage, and Usage lets that ball roll out. It touched off of Bates, so kick in for Austria coming up. We're going to get a substitution for Austria. Let's see who's coming off. It looks like Jasna Puskaric is coming on.
Austria player out number Ilias Jusic, and number 7, Jasna Puskaric.
Jasna Puskaric coming into the match, coming off Ilias Jusic. Bolding long pass to Smith. Smith touches the ball, sets himself up for a pass across, cut off by Strubreiter. Smith, the pass up, Bolding. Bolding across to Bates. Bates, cut off by Kiefla. That ball sent out of play, kick in coming up for England. Bates up to Chris Gordon, the goalkeeper. Bolding all the way across. It's cut off by Ladsteder. Sam Smith winding up to restart play here. And he tried to kick it up to Bolding, but ended up kicking it out of play. John Bolding getting Bates into position. Bolding looking to pass across. Nice pass. Bates is not going to quite get there in time. Bates, the long pass over to Smith. Smith up to Bolding. Bolding back over to Bates. Bates winding up. Bates, that one off the post, but it was out of play. Actually went off the referee. It looks like an indirect free kick coming up for England. Bolding, soft touch across. Bates. Bolding. Smith. Back up to Bolding. Bolding over to Bates. Bates across to Smith. And a shot and a goal. Sam Smith gets himself on the board. Just so much passing, so difficult to defend. I mean, it is almost impossible to stop that much passing. We are in the 16th minute, and England up 6-0. And it looks like England going to make a couple substitutions. Bates and Smith coming on in their place. Ed Common and Marcus Harrison. Ed Common passes up to Gordon, but that's a 2-on-1 violation on Austria. Bolding cut off by Puskaric. Bolding with a pass over to Common. Common holds that one in play, but he really couldn't do much else with that one. The pass up to Gordon. Gordon across to Bolding. Bolding. Nice little soft touch to Harrison. Harrison now setting himself up for a pass. And we're going to get another 2-on-1 violation. Ladsteder and Kiefla. Indirect free kick coming up for England. Lots of space here for the English to move that ball around. Bolding across to Gordon. Gordon across to Harrison. Harrison back up to Gordon, but Puskaric is going to take that ball now. Jasna Puskaric heading down the floor for Austria, but John Bolding stops her quickly. Bolding had to move to avoid contact there. Bolding across to Gordon. Gordon back to Bolding. Bolding nicely cut off by Ladsteder, but it's going to roll out of play. Kick in coming up for England. Bolding over to Harrison. Harrison got a lot of space. Ed Common waiting on the other side of the pitch. That ball cut off by Kiefla. And Michael Kiefla just simply knocks it out of play. Coming up on the 19th minute here, and Bolding cut off by Puskaric, and Chris Gordon right there. Austria have had a couple counter-attacking opportunities, and because they haven't really been able to control the flow of play, they're going to have to rely on that counter-attack to try to generate some kind of offense and force the goalkeeper, Chris Gordon, to sit back a little bit further. Because right now he's kind of running freely out there. Lachsteda knocks that ball out of play. Harrison, Gordon. Now they are really just giving Gordon all kinds of space out there. You can see the Austrian side just kind of sitting back, crowding the goal area. They need to be really careful to avoid any 2-on-1 situation that could come up. Harrison back to Gordon. Gordon going to hold on to that ball. Gordon looking to pass over to Harrison. You can see Harrison dropping back to offer a passing option to Gordon. And now Lachsteda taking on Marcus Harrison. Harrison strips that ball away. Kiefla. Puskaric couldn't get out of the way in time. Another 2-on-1 violation on Austria. We're in the 20th minute here in the first half. If you're just joining us, England up 6-0. Bolding to Common. That ball bounced out of the goal area by Kiefla. Nicely done. Bolding across to Common. Ed Common with a shot. Oh, and that one saved by Austria. That shot was on target, so now a corner kick coming up. We're in added time here in the first half. And again, if you're just joining us, England up 6-0. And so now the referee trying to get the keeper either behind the goal line or outside that meter mark. There is a mark just 1 meter inside the goal area. So now lots of space. There's actually a lot of space between Kiefla and the goal post. Chris Gordon going across the Bolding though. Bolding right off of Puskaric, and that is a 2-on-1 violation. Lachsteda and Puskaric. Too close together. Bolding with a quick kick over to Harrison. Marcus Harrison across. Not quite sure. I think the referee is going to restart play here. That kick a little too quick from John Bolding. Bolding. Harrison back up to Bolding. Harrison now back up to Bolding again. John Bolding across to Common. Common with a shot. Ed Common scores another goal for England. And the passing from England is just exquisite. Ed Common, all kinds of space to score that goal. It is now 7-0 England. And we are winding down the first half here. And there's the halftime whistle, ladies and gentlemen. England start off fast, and they rack up 7 goals in the first half. We're going to take a break. When we come back, half number 2, you are watching England, Austria from the 2019 EPFA Nations Cup. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And 10 Matt Francis.
Hello everybody and welcome back. We are about to begin the second half here. England up 7-0 over Austria. We're live here at the Pajularti Training Center here in Nassila, Finland for Power's Soccer Shop. I'm Tony Jackson, and England making a couple substitutions at halftime. Into the match for Chris Gordon is number 10 number 6 Greg Baxter, and in for John Bolding, number 10 Matt Francis. Harrison setting himself up. That ball going all the way down the floor, and it's going to roll out of play. Kick in coming up for Austria. So now Martin Lachsteda sending the ball through, but play has been stopped. And Austria will restart play here. Lachsteda mishit that ball. Francis makes a save on it. Matt Francis trying to push through Lachsteda. Matt Francis is rolling down the floor with the ball. Kifla. Francis across over to Common. Common back to Francis. Francis with a shot. Saved by Streibruta. Common up to Francis. Francis over to Harrison. Harrison with a shot. Marcus Harrison with a 180 spin kick for a goal. Let's watch this replay. You can see Matt Francis with a long pass over to Harrison. And Harrison just enough touch on the ball to slide it past Streibruta. Harrison, good touch on the ball, but it's not going to be able to keep it under control, and it's going to roll out for a kick-in. Looks like an Austria player touched it last, so England going to get a kick-in here. Francis nicely stopped by Streibruta. Ed Common winding up for a pass. Francis, good save there. Kifla now takes the ball out of the area. Kifla, Matt Francis, that ball off of Francis. Kick in coming up for Austria. Puskaric over to Kifla. Francis stops that ball. Francis winding up for a pass across to Harrison. Harrison across, cut off by Kifla. Francis back down to Harrison. Harrison the shot. Marcus Harrison off the Austrian defender scores another goal. And the wide open passing style of England proving to be too much for Austria to handle. It is now 9-0. England on top. Francis touches that ball off of Lachsteda, and he's not going to be able to keep it in play. So another kick-in coming up for England. And I have to say, Austria really giving England a lot of space out there to move the ball around. And I mentioned it before the match started. This is an extremely wide pitch, and so that also plays to England's advantage, giving them even more space to position themselves and move the ball around. Long pass over to Harrison. Marcus Harrison with a shot saved by Kifla. And that ball comes out. Baxter over to Harrison, but Harrison loses track of the ball. Let's watch that one again. You can see a long pass across to Harrison. Good save there by the Austrian defenders. Now back to live action. Ed Common with a pass across. Harrison over to Common. Common holds onto the ball. Common looking to wind up for a shot. It goes off of Kifla, out of play. Common up to Baxter. Greg Baxter off of Lodstad. That ball's rolling, but will Baxter get there in time? It looks like he will. Risky move there by England, but Greg Baxter was able to catch up to it in time. And right now, that really kind of looks like the only way that Austria are going to muster any goals. Oh, and there's a bounce. Matt Francis right there to hold on to it. Mistake by Baxter nearly costs England, but Matt Francis in position to stop that shot. Puskaric trying to find some space in that English defense. Yazan Puskaric going right into Francis. Puskaric, Francis just driving her down the floor. And Puskaric really needs to let go of Francis. He's just using her to move the ball down the floor. Francis back over to Harrison. Harrison all the way across. Francis tried to go for a 180 spin kick. Common's going to have to come in and save it. Baxter, the pass back up. Common across to Francis. Francis going over to Harrison. Marcus Harrison now winding up for a pass across to Common. Common with a shot. Ed Common, nicely done. Marcus Harrison cleans it up for another goal. Just unbelievable positioning, unbelievable passing. England 10, Austria 0. Watch right here, Marcus Harrison in perfect position to clean that one up. Ladies and gentlemen, the way England are passing, it's going to be very difficult for most teams to defend this kind of movement. That ball is out of play in favor of England, and we're going to get a substitution. And it looks like Austria is going to pull Jasna Puskaric out, and coming on in her place, number 4, Karolina Songi.
Number 4, Karolina Songi. And now number 7, Jasna Puskaric.
Karolina Songi into the match, making her international debut. Francis down to Common. Nicely stopped by Kifla. Ed Common. That pass across, nicely done. Now Lodstad with the ball, taking on Matt Francis. Nicely done, Francis. Francis just pushing his way through. The pass across to Harrison. Harrison's got space. Nice save, Michael Kifla. Marcus Harrison going up to Baxter. Baxter back to Harrison. Harrison cut off by Lodstad, and that is a corner kick for England. 29th minute. Harrison tried to go through the defense, and he passes up to Baxter. Baxter back down to Harrison. Harrison up to Francis. Francis across, saved by Kifla, and that ball's going to bounce out of play. Another kick in for England coming up. Good defense there by Austria. Baxter across to Francis, but no one there at the far post for England. Marcus Harrison, that was his position, but he was a little bit too far away, so goal kick coming up for Austria. Common down to Harrison. He cuts that ball off. Harrison up and across. Shungai cut off. Harrison with the ball. Nice touch there. Harrison to control it. Ladstede sends it right into his own keeper. Now there's a fight for possession here. We're going to get a foul on Ladstede. So a direct free kick coming up for England. Francis across to Common. Common with a shot. Common with a goal. Let's watch this again. Very easy goal for Ed Common as Austria left space at the post. It's now 11-0. Ed Common with the ball. Shungai working against Common, trying to prevent him from passing that ball back out. And it looks like Austria making another substitution. Let's see who's coming off.
Substitution Austria.
It looks like Martin Ladstede coming off.
And number 3, Michael Streit.
Looks like number 3, Michael Streit coming on for Austria. Common over to Baxter. Baxter, Common holds onto the ball. England, Francis off of Streit. And that ball rolls out of play. Kicking for England coming up. That ball off of Streit, another kick in. .33rd minute of the match. England firmly in control, up 11-0. Harrison across, that one cut off by Strubreiter. Francis across, Common. Oh, he slides that one right between the defenders. Harrison looking for space to score, and he does. Marcus Harrison, very patient move there. He waited for that ball to come across and found a moment to score. He didn't try to force the play. He let it come to him, and he pushed that ball right over the line. Streit, Matt Francis. Good fight here between these two. But Matt Francis wins out, and now the pass over to Harrison. Nice move by Marcus Harrison. Harrison now trying to get himself into position to kick it back out to Francis, who's waiting at the top of the area. Marcus Harrison very patient, trying to pick his space. That ball out of play. It's going to be a corner kick for England. Let's see what Marcus Harrison does here. He's got a couple options. He's got Matt Francis near the center line. Will he try to kick it all the way out there? Greg Baxter, the keeper, slides over to the far post. And Ed Common kind of placing himself right in between that Austrian defensive wall. Harrison goes up to Francis. Francis back to Harrison. Marcus Harrison looking to go up to Francis, maybe. And that ball over to Francis. It bounces out across to Common. Ed Common back across. Nicely done by Kifla. Shungai couldn't latch onto that pass, so it's going out for another kick in. in favor of England. Common all the way across Harrison. Nice save, Michael Kiefla. Let's watch that save again. That was a hard shot, and Kiefla came through and stopped it. Nicely done. Good defense. Back to live action. Matt Francis cut off by Streit. Harrison across to Common. Common with a shot. Ed Common. Goal number 13 for England. And Ed Common just sends that one through. Now you see Kiefla, instead of just backing up towards the post, he turned around to watch where the ball was going. And if he had just simply backed up towards the post, he would have gotten there in time to stop that shot. And it looks like we've got a couple more substitutions for England. Coming back into the match, number 11, Sam Smith, and number 19, Brad Bates. Ed Common and Marcus Harrison out. Streit tried to go for a 180 spin kick, but didn't really get any power on it. So now Bates with the ball. Bates gets stripped away by Streit. Kick in coming up for England. 37th minute. Substitution for Austria. Caroline Schöngai coming off, coming back into the match. Number 10, Ilyas Jusic. So Brad Bates for England over to Francis. Bates touches the ball. Oh, Bates tried to go for a 180 spin kick, but Streit was there to stop him. The pass out to Francis. Bates winding up for a 180 spin kick, a little too late on it, but Streit did very well to kind of throw him off his timing a little bit. Smith over to Francis. Close to a 2-on-1 violation. Advantage called. Play continues. It's out. Kick in favor of England. Sam Smith up to Francis. Francis. Smith with the ball again. Smith with the touch. Strubreiter, the keeper for Austria. Smith trying to get his chair in a good position to attack the Austrian defense. The pass coming out to Francis. Francis, the shot saved by Austria. Francis cut off by Strubreiter. Bates all the way up to Francis. Back down to Bates. Bates, that ball touched by Strubreiter. That's going to be a corner kick for England. Time winding down here. We are in the 39th minute. Can England notch goal number 14? Francis. The light touch on the ball and a foul by Streit. Direct free kick coming up for England. Francis, Bates, back up to Francis. Francis across. Sam Smith, that pass cut off by Kiefla. Bates with the ball now. Bates sends it the wrong way. Jusic with it. Francis there to stop him. 2-on-1 violation on Austria. Streit and Julicic. Francis, Bates, Smith across to Bates. Bates with a shot. Nice save, Strubreiter. Streit sends that one out of play. Good job by Austria. We are in added time here, and England going to come away with all 3 points. Sam Smith with another shot and another goal. And there's number 14 for England. You see the pass just splitting the Austrian defense.
14, goal scored by number 11, Sam Smith.
There's the final whistle, ladies and gentlemen. England in control from the opening whistle until the final whistle. The final score, 14-0 in favor of England. The 3 Lions really trying to send a message here to start their tournament. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Ireland, Denmark. You are watching the 2019 EPFA Nations Cup live from the Pajularti Training Center. We'll be back in a little bit with our next match.